before I start the video off, you know, I've been subscribed to Vids06 for pretty much since the beginning of, you know, since I've been doing this YouTube boxing shit, man. And I think he's got one of the better channels out there for my, you know, for my personal taste. We agree on most everything. But in this particular instance, I wholeheartedly disagree with some of the shit that he's saying. And boxing is an opinion-based sport. You know, right down to who won a match. It's really opinion. It's really what you know. It's for the eyes of the beholder. You know, and in this particular instance, you know, I disagree. But at any rate, I'm still, you know, I'm a big fan of his shit, and I think I've expressed that to him in comments, or at least in a message or something like that. So, you know, it is what it is. I think that this is a good thing for us for to have a disagreement on and to have it documented, because I think that a lot of people have either on his you know, have his way of thinking about the shit, and or my way of, you know, there's really no middle ground with the shit. But I'm gonna try to be as I guess non-biased as I possibly can. You know, my main problem, my main disagreement, or my main gripe with what some of the things that he's saying is that you know, I really don't get I really don't get the double standard in boxing right now. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I've made a bunch of videos about Manny Pacquiao and some of the shit that he does as far as weight is concerned, and as far as fighting people that are pretty much just names, people coming off of losses, pretty much fighting guys that, you know, that are being put in the ring with him for him to look good against. And sometimes, and as of late, he hasn't really been looking too good any fucking how. But I know Vids has been doing the same thing for a long time, a lot longer than I've been doing it about Pacquiao. So I just don't understand how Canelo can get the pass, and we can tear down Pacquiao for doing the same. I mean, so to me, they're doing the same exact shit. You know, Pacquiao's either draining you, or he's bringing you up. You know, he's bringing you up into a division that you're not comfortable fighting in. And in Canelo's case, you know, he's choosing a fight. I think his past 6 fucking fights in a row have been against welterweights or junior welterweights. You know, and you throw in Shane Mosley and Peter Manfredo. You know, two of the last fucking 5 were people that was their last fight. You know, so it's either old or on their way out, or and they're all small dudes, all welterweights and junior welters. I don't understand how we can give him a pass. I don't understand how we can even use the word beast when describing Canelo. You know, no shit. You know, no shit. You're gonna look like a beast when you're beating the shit out of somebody that you got. You know, that you're bigger than. You know, but in the same breath, you're saying that Chavez ain't shit because he's bigger for the guys in his own division. Meanwhile, Canelo's fighting guys that ain't shit in their division, and he's bringing them up to a higher division. You know, the guys that Canelo's fighting, that even in the division that they were in to begin with, it's not like he's bringing up, if he was going to bring up a junior welterweight, it's not like he brought up Lucas Matisse to 154 and was fighting him, or Danny Garcia. You know, he's bringing up Josecito Lopez and beating the shit out of him, you know, for fucking however long, 5 rounds or whatever. He's bringing up Matthew Hatton from 147. You know, he's not bringing up, you know, Andre Berto, or, you know, you understand what I'm saying? And even then, he just shouldn't be doing the shit. You know, you're saying that Chavez, well, you know, since he walks around at, you know, at whatever it is he walks around at, he should be a cruiserweight. You know, he's a cruiserweight masquerading as a middleweight. But then you've got a video to where you're tearing Gamboa apart for his resume, and you're building up Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner's a guy that walks around at 154 pounds, 153. He said it on camera. You know, so should he be fighting at junior middle? How is Broner getting the pass and Chavez doesn't? You know, and this isn't a video, you know, me defending Chavez. I'm only using Chavez because in your video it was, you know, you were making the comparison of Chavez and Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So how does Adrien Broner get that pass? 130-pound fighter. He's about to be a 135-pound fighter, but a 130-pound fighter that's you know, on fight night 148 pounds and outweighing dudes by 10 pounds. Oh, and by the way, not even making weight, you know, coming in 3 pounds over. And then the next morning, he's supposed to come in at 140, he comes in at 143. You know, but you want to tear Gamboa, fucking tear him apart for having, for the resume that he's got when he's accomplished more than Adrien Broner has accomplished. And they started their career, literally they started their career around the same time. I think maybe give or take, Gamboa started like 8-9 months earlier. But if you add in the fact that Gamboa hasn't fought almost this whole past year, you know, they've been boxing for the same amount of time, and Gamboa's accomplished more. And against the same opponent, Ponce de Leon, Gamboa won 8 out of 8 rounds because it was stopped for a cut. And Adrien Broner struggled. He almost lost that fight. Matter of fact, I had it scored a draw. Some people had Ponce de Leon winning. You know, which I couldn't argue with. But if you had Broner winning by a round, I couldn't argue with that either. I scored it a draw. So against the same guy, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? And that's not to say that you know, personally, I think that Broner would be a big problem for Gamboa. You know, if that makes you feel any better, I think he'd be a big problem for a lot of people, all the way up to 140. You know, but either way, I'm not giving Broner a pass for doing the same shit that Chavez does, just because he's Adrien Broner, just because he fights similar to, you know, to how Mayweather fights or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't see that. I really can't see that shit. You know, you're saying that Chavez would get, you know, if he fought at 168, which is where he probably should be fighting, he'd get knocked the fuck out. I don't know about that. I mean, I see a lot of losses there. I don't know if he's getting knocked out, but, you know, possible, whatever. That's fine. And he wants no parts of nobody at 168. Canelo don't want no parts of nobody in his own fucking division. Do you understand what I'm saying? He hasn't fought, like not only are we waiting for him to fight somebody that's worth talking about, we're just waiting for him to fight somebody in his own fucking division. You know, you're saying that you know what Canelo can do because you see what he's doing against whoever the fuck he's doing it against. But how do we know? Who has he fought that was a you know, a counter puncher that's given him, that's shown him movement, that's shown him different angles, that hasn't allowed him to just, you know, set his feet and beat the shit out of him and get him into a corner? Where's the Carlos Molinas on his resume? Where's the Laras, the Vanes, you know what I'm saying? Vanes Martivasonian, whatever his name is. Where's K9? You know, you're saying that people would have been calling him a duck if he didn't fight Josecito Lopez. I don't think so. I think if he would have chose to fight anybody at 154 with a pulse, a natural 154-pound fighter, people wouldn't have said shit. And the kind of person that would say that he ducked Josecito Lopez, to me, I wouldn't even waste my time because they don't know shit about boxing to make a statement like that. He's just not fighting. He's not fighting nobody. And I don't want to, you know, a lot. That's another thing. I didn't hear you say it, but I've heard other people say it. You know, well, he was supposed to fight Paul Williams, and he was supposed to fight Kirkland. You know, that's tantamount to somebody saying, well, you know, I tried to call you, you know, if they owed you money, I tried to call you a couple times, you didn't pick up, and then they spent your fucking money. You know, and you're looking at them like, motherfucker, you know, you either hold the money or you try harder. You know, alright, what happened to Paul Williams, what happened? Yeah, you wanted to fight Kirkland because his shoulder was all fucked up. You know, and on top of that, Kirkland's chinny. He's a big name and he's chinny, and all Canelo would have to do is, you know, catch him right, you know, one time, and he'd probably drop him. But what do you stop at Williams and Kirkland, and then you go to Ortiz? Nobody would, you know. First of all, Ortiz was the third replacement. It was Williams, then Kirkland, then Ortiz. Then he got his jaw broke, and then we ended up with Josecito Lopez. But it's not. I mean, we wouldn't have been calling him a duck. We're calling him a duck right now. You know, and I'm not saying he's garbage. I see Canelo beating a lot of guys at 154. I could see him beating Mayweather, to be honest with you, at 154. I don't think Mayweather belongs at 154, which is probably why he wants to fight him. I see him probably beating Cotto. But I'm not giving him credit for beating fucking Josecito Lopez or Matthew Hatton. And I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a beast. And I'm not going to say that there aren't questions that need to be answered about him. You know, at least, at the very least, the questions about Chavez Jr. have been answered. Because he got in there and fought with the best at his division. And one of the best in the world. The questions are answered. Alright, you know, he's going to have trouble with a guy that can box and that can move. And that doesn't allow him to plant and throw punches. You know, if you keep on throwing punches and you keep a nice jab in his face and you show him movement, you know he's going to have problems. But we also know that he's dangerous up until the last minute of the last round against a pound for pound dude. Do we know that about Canelo? Can we say that unequivocally, that Canelo, you know, can bang with somebody on you know, a top 20 pound for pound dude, or a top 5 154 guy? Could we say that? No, because he ain't fighting nobody at 154. We just don't know. What's he gonna do when he gets hit by somebody that can punch at 154? We don't know. We've got an idea. He got caught by Cotto's brother and was rocked. If you watch that fight, that's my thing. You know, why not match him up with some of these guys? That tends to tell me something. You know, I really don't know, man. You know, we tear Pacquiao down for some of these things, and we try to let people slide. You know, if they would just come out and say Canelo's not ready and stop force feeding them down our fucking throat, then I could live with that. You know, I'd be like, all right, well, he ain't ready. Shit, he's only 22 years old. That's fine. You know, if the same for Broner, if they just said, you know, he's not ready right now, you know, but he'll be there at some point. That's fine. You know, but you're not gonna shove him down my fucking throat and continue to say, you know, he's a beast, and then, you know, these guys aren't fighting nobody. You know, and then you want me to knock somebody that stepped up and fought somebody. The fight actually happened last week. There's not, how many times in boxing can we say two of the best people in the division? A fight that we've been looking to see. We've been looking to see Chavez versus Martinez for a while, probably for the wrong reasons. A lot of people wanted to see Chavez get his ass whooped. So to a certain extent, they got what they wanted. But we got the fight. As boxing fans, we got that fight. I'm not going to knock somebody for stepping up and taking the challenge. A guy like Canelo, I'm going to knock all day. And I sure as fuck ain't going to knock one guy for doing it and not knock the other. To me, if you're not fighting the best, if you're ducking people and you're making other people fight each other to get a chance to fight you, and they got better resumes than you, then to me you're a duck and you're a bum. That's pretty much what it is, man. That's pretty much what it is. So, I don't know. I could talk about this shit all day. I probably missed on a bunch of shit, but you know, if I'm wrong, you let me know in the comments, or you know, that's for the people to listen and vids. You know what I'm saying? If you know, whatever, make a response. And if I missed a couple things, you let me know too. Let me know what you think, man. I'm out.